Have you got? Are they Kallax shelves in the background?
IKEA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as mine.
Yeah. That mine are full of toys and things.
Yeah.
And shit. Yeah.
Hi, Ross.
Hello. You all right?
Yeah. Good
Not
to
too
you.
bad.
Graham, you okay?
Very good, thank you. Good to see you.
That's a very elaborate-looking backdrop. What have we got there?
Yeah, just a mess of toys and shelves and some hard drives. There's a baseball there. I don't know why.
Coming in live from the car boot sale.
That's it. Yeah. I think there's a baseball there because I once bought a baseball bat in case any burglars came in. I thought, well, better back that up by buying a baseball because I've ever had to use it. The reason I've got the baseball bat is because I've got a baseball. That's the story behind the baseball.
Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? Who are you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? Say what is you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? I say what is you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? I say what is you?
I think that's Furlough summed up in one jingle, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
So the 6 questions there. Can you answer them for me?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Graham. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done. 1 point.
Can you add some effects over it just to make it more exciting? What am I? Is that, you have to tell me.
No.
Oh, you've got to remember them. Who are you? What are you? Yeah, so I'm a mate.
It's catchy, isn't it?
Yeah, tell me about you. So what am I? I'm a friend of Si's.
Yeah.
I've known Si for 25 years, probably worked together. We're all mates together, loads of parties and stuff in the past. What was the next one?
When are you?
What are you? When are you?
No. Yeah. No. When are you? When are you?
When am I?
Yeah.
When am I what? When am I excited? I'm excited now.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Take.
When are you? What are you? How are you? Yeah, very well. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Bringing over my films, What are you? Shit.
Was there a when is you?
When
What
is you?
I'll read them out to you.
Yeah, go on, that's helpful.
So who are you? You've answered.
Answered that, yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm in
Excellent.
Stockport, like you are, Si.
Excellent.
Poet.
Stockport.
On the other side of the Pennines.
Why are you?
Why am I here?
Yeah, that'll do.
Bit of an existential question, really.
Yeah.
Why are you? Yeah, I've no idea why I am. I'm just, yeah.
Correct.
It's a very rigid scoring system. I like
It
it.
is, yeah.
When are you? How are you? You've answered.
Yeah, when are you?
And what is you?
What is you?
Yeah.
Well, I am a photographer and video editor.
Correct.
Who doesn't know how to tweak his BIOS on his computer?
That's fine. Thank you very much for that. I can see that returning. So, a few months ago, we did our top 5 movies, and we've asked you to specially come along and give us yours. Now, in the spirit of, first of all, how did you find it?
Pretty tricky, to be honest, because I realised that I don't really have any fans.
I don't like films.
Yeah, no, I like films, but I sort of watch a film, move on from it. If somebody asked me what the film was about, struggling straight away. But then I realized, then something will come on, or somebody will say something. Oh yeah, love that film. So it's pretty difficult to sort of pin down. So like I said, if you put my top 5 for this week or for this day. Because, like Dawn was saying to me this morning, what about blah, blah, blah? And I went, oh, God, yeah, I need to go and change my list.
Yeah.
I don't really have any, films that I just absolutely know. There's a few, that are in the list that, if they're on, I'll watch it. And, I've always watched them. So that they've made it into the list, really.
Okay.
There's lots of films that I really like, but would have watched them loads of times. maybe not. Do you know what I mean? And some of them that I've looked back over for this, I thought, yeah, it was probably at the time was great, and I loved it at the time, but now it's not really aged that well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's a breakfast.
Like
A Weekend at Bernie's is out now.
Yeah.
Do you have
like Connect Four?
Yeah.
Stop staring at his games in the background.
I said that about half an hour ago. So, Graham, do you, when it comes to watching films, do you have like, because I'm a sort of self-admitted soft ass when it comes to, if a film wants me to be sad, I'm bawling. If a film wants me to be ecstatic and happy and excited, then I'm a whooping and a hollering. Do you have that sort of emotional engagement?
Yeah, I do.
Films?
Yeah, I am really, I have no problem if there's like a sad film or something. I'm in tears. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no problem with that at all.
But yeah, I think that it's part of because so my wife is like, she's the opposite. So like if we're watching, I don't know, let's say let's think of an emotional epic, Toy Story 4, right?
Yeah.
And we were watching that, and if you haven't seen Toy Story 4, when Woody and Buzz part ways as friends at the end, and I was an absolute emotional wreck, and Fatima stops watching the film and actually just starts sort of side-eyeing me, waiting to see that solitary tear find its way down into my beard.
Yeah.
Like Sinead O'Connor.
And she thinks it's absolutely ridiculous. And I always say to her, actually, you're cheating yourself out of really, truly enjoying a film here, because if you're watching a horror film, I'll try and let it scare me. If I'm watching a sad film, I'll try and put my emotions into overdrive purely for the purposes of the experience.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
film, right?
It'd be like if you're watching a comedy, you don't want to be. There's nothing worse than watching a comedy and you sat with people that
That's shit.
They might, or they're not even laughing. And you might think, well, yeah, it might be your sense of humour, but it's still mild for anyone. That is mildly funny. So it deserves like even a little snigger or something. You don't have to break into laughter.
Is this what you do? Do you stop the film and stand up in a room? And
Yeah. Wait, can I just say that was funny? You know what I mean?
Let me watch it. Let's rewatch it 13 times until you laugh.
Yeah.
I noticed you mildly sniggered.
Yeah. That will do. Well, next time, I want laughter. Yeah. So yeah, I like films. I like to get into them, and I like to, whatever type of film it is, I do like to have that emotion. I think that's, for me, that is whether the film's successful or not. If it's a sad film and it's not making you sad, it's not going to tick that box, is it?
So how do you feel about I really enjoy going to the cinema, but I think I'm a little bit too tightly wound for it, because if I'm sat in the cinema, and I mean, if someone's talking through the trailers, I start getting a little bit edgy.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to hate them before the film's even started, and I'm almost poised, ready to say, do you want to shut the fuck up and take your popcorn outside?
Yeah. I mean, there's not been many times I've been at the cinema where people have, throughout the intros and all that, but actually through the film, I've not really had much interference.
But especially when you got like a multiplex, Ross goes in and out of all the other screens just to tell people to shut the fuck up.
I'll never forget when it was one of the first cinema experiences I can remember, and we'll be able to figure out what year it was, because it was the first Mummy film.
Sigh.
92?
It must have been. Well, no, I don't think it was quite that early.
Oh no, sorry, 2002.
Yeah. So, and I went with a friend of mine, and it was one of the first times we were allowed to go to the cinema sort of on our own, and we went to see The Mummy, and there was this group of what would you call them, knobheads sat next to us, and so I was like, me and my mate Baz were sat like sort of side by side, and there was a group next to us, and sat next to me was a girl that belonged to this group, and they were talking, and even then it used to really wind me up.
Yeah.
And basically, I was there just watch this film and just trying to ignore them talking shit. And all of a sudden, I felt this like wet like spray, and I turned around, and this girl had this big, the offensively large Pepsis, and she'd got it in a straw and turned and sprayed the straw with Coke into my face, and to be honest, it was all the excuse I was looking for. And in my rage, I picked up this bucket of Coke and just dunked it over her head. and just pitched it over her head. And I remember she went mental, and all the mates were like, "Oh, we're kicking off," and we got taken out into the main foyer, and we were all going to get kicked out. And I was saying, I didn't do anything. I was just retaliating to this group. Baz is in there on his own. I said, Baz is on his own in there with Imhotep. And thankfully there was a lady who sat behind us who'd witnessed it all. She actually came out, spoke to the steward or whatever, and said, actually he's done nothing wrong here. They were baiting him, so I got let back in, and that was that. But that's one of my earliest cinematic experiences.
And he's still married to that woman, aren't you, Ross?
Still getting the coke out of her hair.
Excellent. Right, so should we go into Graham's top 5?
You're going to give us some clues so we can try and guess it.
Graham's top 5.
Well, clues are difficult to come by. So some of these
Graham, have you heard of the internet?
Yeah. All right. All right. Bear with.
Double check. Have you provided you've got enough bandwidth?
Yeah. Bear with. Right. So the first one, my number 5. So these are obviously in order of building up to my favourite film.
Yeah.
Right. Number 5. There's a certain genre of film that I like. Well, there's a few different genres, but one of them is like the whodunit type.
Right.
Film. Yeah. So there's a clue there. It's a whodunit, murder mystery type thing. So it's one of the earlier ones. It's from the 1960s, and it's how many sort of clues do you want? You're not going to get it anyway.
Keep going.
So 1961 film written by Agatha Christie.
Murder on the Orient Express.
No.
Death on the Nile.
No, these are 70s films you're talking about there. But I do really, I could do a show on murder mystery movies.
It's not double indemnity, is it?
So it's
that's a porn film you watched, wasn't it?
Basically, it's with it. Margaret Rutherford is the main actress.
So Miss Marple.
So Miss Marple, yeah.
The mirror cracked.
No.
Pocket full of rye. No.
No.
Pocket full of rye. No.
Nope. If you get it, I'll be well impressed. Because you won't.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's black and white. Margaret Rutherford's the kind of cuddly old Miss Marple, isn't she?
She is. Yeah. She's sort of quite.
Looks like Alma Fudd.
Yeah. She's quite comical. She doesn't play it really how Miss Marple was written by Agatha Christie. She's like very boisterous and gets stuck in and all that sort of stuff.
Is this something like Bird in the Hand or something?
No.
Ah.
She made 4 different ones. So, and this is my favourite of the 4. Although they're all quite good. It's called Murder, She Said.
Is it Murder, She Said?
Well done, Si. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do the editing.
It's based on something like the 850 from Paddington or something or whatever.
Right. Okay.
The Agatha Christie novel's called. And she's just comical in the way she plays it. She gets stuck in. She gets a job at, she sees a murder on a train, somebody being strangled, and she knows roughly on whereabouts on the train line it happens. So she then goes back to the train line with her old friend, Mr. Stringer, and it works out that the train line is at the side of this big country house.
Right.
So he thinks that the body might be in there. So she gets a job basically as like the nanny at the country house, and then does a bit of investigating. And it's just she's quite comical in the way she plays the part. So I like a good who's done it.
So is she your favourite Miss Marple? Or?
She is. Yeah,
what about was it Joan
Hickson?
Joan Hickson played in the 80s. Yeah.
I like. Yeah.
She was always a little bit scarier though, wasn't she? She was a lot more serious.
She's serious, yeah, but I think that's probably more as Agatha Christie wrote the role.
Right. Okay.
Whereas Margaret Rutherford was, just took it. Apparently, Agatha Christie didn't like the way she played it. She didn't like the film she made.
Right.
Because that wasn't really how she wrote the part. But I quite like them. Quite a little bit funny. You're not going to laugh out loud. But it is Miss Marple at the end of the day.
There's a mild snigger.
Yeah. Well, actually, in Murder, She Said, Joan Hickson is actually in it as a maid in the house.
Oh,
And like you said, later she went on to play Miss Marple herself.
wow, it's as if she knew, wasn't it?
Who'd have known that? Eh? Margaret Rutherford probably would.
Oh, right, okay. Well, it is. So, have you watched all of those then?
I have.
Right, okay. And that's the favourite one.
Yeah, I think there's one called Murder Ahoy, which is there's a murder on like a
boat.
On a boat, yeah, on a naval boat. So she dons a navy outfit and gets on board the boat and finds out who the murderer is. And in each of them, she nearly gets killed. You know, she always gets attacked, but you know she doesn't get killed. You know, it's Miss Marple.
Yeah, it's main character, isn't it? Probably not.
Yeah. It would have been another 3 films then, would there?
Interesting. I genuinely would not have expected that.
No,
not 5 at all.
So how do you feel about like, do you like sort of John le Carre type stuff?
never heard of him.
So you ever heard of Smiley's People? George Smiley?
No.
What about Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
Yes, I heard of that.
So that's a really good. I mean, it's not in this. It's a whodunit fused with like espionage, but it's so Tom Hooper directed the recent Tinker Tailor Soldier. I say recent, it's about 10 years ago now, I think.
Right.
But he did Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Gary Oldman played George Smiley, and John le Carre wrote the book originally, and then released a series of novellas called Smiley's People, and George Smiley was an ex sort of MI6 like circus. Did like spy for the British government, and there's like bigger stories about the work that he did before he retired, and then Smiley's People was a series of whodunit books where you've got this sort of English mastermind who is now taking on small cases in like towns and villages. And
Okay.
Then it's really good like murder mystery type stuff, but the main
Oh,
character is a guy who used to be a secret agent. And it's called Smiley's People.
I'll hunt them out, definitely, yeah.
And then in the original, there was the BBC series. I think it was in the 60s or 60s, and Alec Guinness played George Smiley.
Yes.
Okay, right.
But if you like that type of thing, then I guarantee
pre-lightsaber.
Yeah, pre-lightsaber. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'll look those out, yeah, because I do like a bit of a whodunit.
Yeah.
But like you said, the other ones you mentioned, like Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express, yeah, they're brilliant.
I remember I used to love the
Evil Under the Sun, Peter Ustinov, yeah.
Peter Ustinov, used to love his.
Yeah.
When I used to watch them, yeah.
Yeah, so they were close. I just went for the Miss Marple because, again, I'm quite nostalgic. I remember watching them as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, so it's sort of when you watch films and things, it takes you back to a certain time. So I picked the older ones because, you know, I think my grandma used to watch the Margaret Rutherford ones and she used to laugh at them. So it reminds you of that time as well, doesn't it? But yeah, I love the Peter Ustinov. I think he's brilliant at the Hercule Poirot.
They did always just used to play him on Sunday afternoon, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you know, we'd you know, just as you're waiting for your tea, you'd be able to watch one of them.
Bloody hell, that looked like you were being called to heaven.
Yeah.
It's my time, guys. It's my time.
Don't walk towards the bright light, Simon. Come this way.
This house is clean. Oh, dear. Right. Games number 4.
So another genre of film that I like is I like martial arts movies. And there's lots of those to choose from.
Yeah.
You know, my favourite actor is Jackie Chan.
Almost see the bone.
Almost see the bone.
Almost see the bone.
Yeah. So it's a Jackie Chan film.
I'm going to write down which one I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say it's one of his comedy ones. They all have comedy elements in there. It's one of the films that he played with 2 other actors that he did quite a few films together with.
Okay. So Sammo Hyung
and Yoon Bu. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to guess Armor of God 2.
No, that was a close one.
Right. Okay.
Do you want a further guess, or you?
Aren't they all policemen?
No, this one is where it's set in Barcelona. This one.
Oh, it's a beautiful horizon.
And they have a fast food van.
Oh, yeah. I want to say Kung Fu Panda, and it's not that.
Jackie Chan was in that. You know, it's a Wheels on Meals.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's right.
Which
Yeah.
originally was going to be called Meals on Wheels, which obviously is the right way of saying it. But apparently, Golden Harvest, whoever did it, had flopped with 2 films that began with M. So they didn't want the film title to start with M, so they changed it to Wheels on Meals.
Right. Just remind me what happened in that film. I can't remember.
So it's the one. It's so obviously they have a yellow fast food van in the centre of Barcelona where they sell fast food, and Sammo Hung he gets the role of a private detective. Basically, a guy that he helps out, I think, is being threatened by somebody. So he says to Sammo, "Right, you're now the private investigator." Next thing, this guy turns up looking for this woman. And Sammo takes the job on, even though he's never. Basically, the guy throws some money at him. He goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." So they have to try and find this woman, and she's like dead. I think she was like Miss Spain or something in the past. She's a beautiful girl in it, and you know she basically Jackie Chan and Yoon Bu sort of fall for her. She robs them, and, you know, she robs other people, and then you know it just turns into this sort of comedy thing where. You know, they're looking after her. She's robbing them, and she's actually quite a nice person in the end. And then there's a big fight scene at the end. Again, probably one of the best fight scenes in all the films against an American guy called Benny Urquidez, who I think was a kickboxing champion. So it's Jackie Chan versus him, and it's a good fight scene at the end. So everything you want out of her.
I'm so disappointed. Because when you said martial arts film, I thought, oh, perfect. This is going to be... and my mind started racing. I was like, right, obviously I was thinking of Bruce Lee. I was thinking of, like, Ip Man. I was thinking of...
Well, the Ip Man
And
film...
then as soon as you said Jackie Chan, I thought, this is going to be a fucking joke, this.
Well, what's your problem with Jackie Chan?
No, there's nothing wrong with Jackie Chan. I like Jackie Chan myself. I don't know. I think if you say if as soon as you said martial arts films, I was like, brilliant. We're talking Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. We're talking about, and I thought we were going down the route of like serious martial arts films, and then what we've ended up with is Wheels on Meals.
Have you seen Wheels on Meals?
I haven't seen it in its entirety, no, but I know it.
That means no. That means no. And he's no intention of watching it.
I've got all the Ip Man films there. I love the Ip Man films. Yeah, they are proper martial arts films, very well filmed.
Were they still sealed?
These are still sealed. I've been watching them all on my download thing. And then when I've been watching them on download, I thought I'll get them on Blu-ray as well.
But never open them.
I never open them. Yeah.
I love them so much. I've never taken them out the disc.
It's further to walk to get them than it is just to choose it on the TV, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. No, it's good. I think everyone always talks about Police Story, don't they? When they talk about Jackie Chan. And is sliding down the shopping mall.
Yeah. All the stunts that always go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, didn't they? Wasn't it supposed to be fairy lights that were supposed to be on it, and they weren't? They just plugged him straight into the mains.
Yeah. So basically electrocuted himself on the way down. And then there was that there was the bus, wasn't there, where the bus stopped.
Yeah.
And then they prepared a car, which like a padded car, if you like. So they crash out the upper deck window, land on this specially designed car to break the fall. But the bus broke too early, threw them out the window, and they just landed on the road in front of the car.
I must say, whenever you watch, like, you know, because Jackie Chan, you know, there's a lot of like really good sort of outtakes and extra content, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it looks like, I mean, if you could do that type of shit, and you were like a stuntman as well as an actor and a martial artist, it looks like the most fun filming experience
until it goes wrong.
I think it's almost invincible, because you'll see him like jumping over something, flipping over something else, and then he'll run headfirst into a scaffolding pipe, and they're like, "Cut, do it again." And he looks like he takes an absolute bloody beating in these when he's making these films.
Well, I think which one was it where that he broke his foot? So they
was that Rumble in the Bronx?
I think it was, and he was jumping from the from the side of a river onto a barge or something.
Yeah. He landed wrong, didn't he?
He landed wrong. So he could carry on, they just painted his cast the same colour as his trainers.
Yeah.
It just looked like he had one big shoe. No, an absolute legend.
So I only picked Wheels on Wheels because, again, I watched it loads of times. And I didn't watch Ip Man films. I've only really watched them in the last 6 months, and I watched them quite a few times. But I did like with 1917. I didn't really want to put that as one of my favourite films. I do love the Ip Man 1. I think
the first one's the best one.
They're all good, to be honest. Ip Man 3, not so much maybe, but 2 and 4, I thought 4 was good as well. So the end of the story. So that series might have made it into my top films, but because it's relatively new, that's why I had to give it to a Jackie Chan film, because I've loved Jackie Chan films over the years.
I get you. I did the same thing with a few of my films where, it's just the associated feelings and memories and nostalgia with that film. An event film, represents a time of your life.
It's Jackie Chan films, and I just love Jackie Chan films. Now they're not the best. They're not, like you said, they're not the best storylines, and they're not the best film. But I just love watching Jackie Chan films. So I had to pick one of those as to be my. I didn't want to go with like Police Story because that's, I suppose, or Armour of God, because in a way they're probably the ones that I've sort of rated the highest. I went with Wheels on Meals because, again, it's just one that I liked.
Yeah,
it always made me laugh. But yeah, Ip Man films as martial arts films, I think. And I like the sort of Once Upon a Time in China series, the Wong Fei Hung films. But yeah, Jet Li or Donnie Yen, both great martial arts actors, and their films tend to be better produced. You can't argue with that. But Jackie Chan for me just makes me laugh. Apart from obviously Bruce Lee, I like Bruce Lee films. Enter the Dragon, again, first sort of mainstream martial arts film. But I think Jackie Chan as an actor brought more maybe martial arts films over to the Western market.
I think more people. Bruce Lee was this almost like otherworldly character, right? Where he was like just his how he was in real life and what he was capable of. He was almost like superhuman. So I think Jackie Chan is far easier to empathise with because he's a silly fucker.
Yeah. And that's what I like about it. Yeah, there's some fighting in there, but he always ends up banging his nose or pulling his bike seat off and sitting on the bike stump or whatever.
Slipping on a banana skin.
Yeah, and because a lot of his influences were like Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin, and you can actually see. I was watching a thing on Buster Keaton the other day, and if you watch Jackie Chan films, a load of his stunts basically are Buster Keaton stunts.
And I think as well, I did used to watch them for the outtakes at the end.
Yeah,
and you get the impression. I've not seen many or any Bruce Lee films, but I get the impression I don't think he's the sort of person that would put outtakes at the end.
No, yeah,
it was a lot more perfect. That's it. Yeah. Whereas Jackie Chan, I don't think mine's making himself look like a dick.
No,
it's part of his thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but then actually, when you look at what he's done in the film, you think, God, how's he done that?
Yeah,
just the way he climbs up a wall or up a tree, or the way he puts chewing gum in his mouth. You actually watch what he does. He's got loads of because he went to like a circus school or whatever, or performing arts school. He can just do it. He can pick up anything and do something with it. And that's what I like.
Is it Armour of God 2 where he misses the tree?
Yeah, almost hit a bone.
Almost hit the bone.
Armour of God 1, I think.
Is it? And didn't they have to delay shooting for 6 weeks?
He was properly hurt. He had to take off the bone, put in the plastic. He's got a plastic piece in his head on it.
Oh, excellent.
What shall I do? Shall I just on my number 3? I'm just going to give you the year.
Films number 3.
Thank you, son. It was made in 1976. It was
Jaws.
Jaws popped into my mind today, actually, hasn't it? But no, I didn't make it. It's
I know, Rocky.
Rocky, yeah. I love Rocky. I love the first Rocky. I love all Rocky films.
See, this is really hard when you guys have known each other for so long, and you can just look into each other's eyes and you go, Rocky, innit?
Yeah. But Rocky, the first Rocky film, I think, is the best of the bunch. just because it's not really a boxing film. The first Rocky.
No.
It's the story. It's quite sad. It's a bit of a love story, isn't it? The first one.
And he's a bit shit as well, isn't he? He's not a great boxer.
He's just given it a chance, and so I just love the way it's filmed. I love the story behind it, and obviously off the back of that, like Rocky IV is just like the American dream, innit? It's still a good film, but the first Rocky.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It's got a good soundtrack.
It's got a good soundtrack. That doesn't make it a good film.
Yeah, it's got good training montage. Here's one. I don't.
That's a subgenre of films. Films with good training montages.
So the first Rocky is my favourite one because it's not gone all cheesy and.
Hello.
Stay away from his bandwidth.
Yeah, don't take my bandwidth. Don't get on that phone. Don't go on your TikTok. How many kids are there? So Rocky, because and the story behind it as well. Obviously, Stallone wrote it. Nobody would take it with him playing the part of Rocky, but then he struck a deal, and it turned into a very big franchise of films.
I think I watched them all about 5 years ago for the first time, and it's weird because they go so bad. And the first and second one are pretty good films.
Yeah,
really good films.
Third one's got Mr. T in it. So.
Third one's got Mr. T in, so that's all right. And then
get some marks for that.
Yeah, by the time you get to the fourth one, and then the fifth one.
Fifth one's terrible.
Oh,
yeah. But then
is that Balboa?
No, it's just called Rocky V.
Rocky V.
Who did that in it?
It had a
American boxer.
Robot maid.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
He's so rich he can afford a robot maid in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how can I help you, Rocky? It's like, just don't. How can it go from being such a underground sort of hit in the first one and maybe the second one, going to having
short circuit?
Pretty
much.
Yeah, it's terrible.
May as well have fought it.
and he's training someone else in that one, isn't he?
Yeah. And then, but the new films actually aren't too bad, like Creed and Balboa.
I've not seen them.
Rocky Balboa. They're actually not too bad. They lost some of the cheese factor and actually went back to being pretty well-made films.
Right. Okay.
Really well shot and stuff. Because the first Rocky, again, because the budget was pretty much non-existent. I think they basically would drive down the street and so look at those dockers working there. Get out, Stallone, and so like the training bit where he runs through the market.
Yeah. Basically,
he just ran through the market. They weren't actors or extras in the background. He just ran through a market. And I think there's a guy that he throws him an apple and he catches an apple. That was just some market trader that just threw him an apple as he was jogging through. It wasn't prearranged.
Quick! There's an abattoir. Let's punch some meat.
They may have arranged that in advance. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of it was just shot on the fly pretty much. That looks like a good scene. Get out and we'll film you there.
Yeah.
And it's a depressing film to watch, but and he loses as well at the end. He loses a fight, doesn't he?
Spoiler.
But he doesn't even know. Spoiler alert. But he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know he's lost. He doesn't care that he's lost because all he wanted to do was go the distance.
Yeah.
So he won his fight in a way.
Brilliant. That's good. I watched Raging Bull for the first time last week.
Oh, that's one of my favourites.
De Niro.
I won't say anything then, Ross.
Come off it. What's wrong with Raging? What could you possibly not like about Raging Bull?
It's so long, and not much happens for quite a while. And the weird bits where people are talking and you can't hear what they're saying and things like that. It was
Turn
just
the volume up.
Yeah,
that'll be it.
That old chestnut.
I've never heard that as a criticism before.
I don't know. I was quite impressed because I'd heard that he'd put on £60 for the beginning and end bits, and I thought, this might be quite good. And I just thought it was James Caan playing those bits because he looks like James Caan.
You've got this weird obsession with forcing James Caan into films that he's never been in. What you did this the other day? What did you do it with? You're convinced James Caan was in something.
Probably The Shining or something.
And you were like, no, Ross, it's James Caan. I'm telling you, it was about the deer hunter, and I was trying to think of. And it's the guy. What's his name? Calzaghe, Joe Casale. He played Fredo Corleone in Godfather, and then he was in.
Yeah.
And he died, and you were like, no, Ross, that's James Caan. You're thinking.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not.
But I thought, but in Raging Bull, he looks like James Caan does now. I think that's what completely threw me.
Maybe.
Well, there you go.
I think you did it with Dumb and Dumber. I said it's Jim Carrey and you were James Caan. It's James
Caan.
It's Jim Carrey and James Caan.
Yeah, that's it. He was in Empire that Strikes Back as well, wasn't he? On the Italian restaurant in the third story of the Death Star.
He's such a closet James Caan fan. You want him everywhere.
Although I
I mentioned Misery, you went,
yeah, I did.
Go on, tell me he actually wasn't.
Graham's number 2.
Right, so this film was the successor to another very successful film, which was one of the first films I saw at the cinema. The first one.
Fox and the Hound 2.
It's not a cartoon.
You talking now?
So it came out in 1980. This one. Do you know what it is?
Oh, piss off.
Well, only because it's my second favorite film.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go on.
Blade? No, is it Blade Runner? No. I need more clues than the release date.
Si mentioned it about a minute ago.
Star Wars.
Yeah, but yes.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, yes, is my second favorite film.
Correct.
Yeah. Because I remember I saw Star Wars at the cinema, but I remember more seeing Empire Strikes Back. I remember seeing it at the Davenport Theatre in Stockport, queuing up with my dad around the side, getting in, watching it. It's just a brilliant film. I mean, I like, apart from the second lot of 3, which I wasn't that keen on. The
prequels.
1, 2, and 3, yeah.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Phantom Menace was good though, right?
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones is an absolute stinking pile of fuck, but
yeah.
Phantom Menace is pretty good.
Yeah.
Has to get his catchphrase in now, doesn't he?
It's one of the best things I've ever said.
I would genuinely defend Attack of the Clones to the death, but I can understand why people don't like it.
Honestly, that film, you were watching it and it was like, any second now we're going to have a scene with bloody Anakin and what's her face? Not Padme. Was it? No, the Queen.
Amidala.
Queen Amidala. And it was it was jarring every time it switched back to them two staring in each other's eyes, and it was just shit. It was so boring. It was like, oh, here we go, 15 minutes of this crap.
I agree, but I still liked it.
I'd rather have watched Liam Neeson kiss Ewan McGregor.
Me too.
while Darth Maul watches.
Yeah. Using both sides of his stick.
Using it as a double-ended dial door.
Yeah, that's the one. Didn't she do that Eminem song? But no, anything else on that?
On Empire.
Yeah.
I just, when he goes to train with Yoda, he doesn't love Yoda. The Yoda scene. I will.
That's a very good Yoda impression. Can we do the rest of the podcast like that?
Your thing we will.
That's the best Yoda impression I've ever heard.
And you. It's gone off.
Yoda, you seek Yoda.
You see you.
See, Simon, you sounded like a Furby running out of batteries.
Yeah, it was a Yoda Furby, so it's all right. Go on, Ross. Do yours. Do your impression, Ross. Go on.
I can only do. I think the best impression. I can't do it. I've never tried a Yoda impression, but I can do a bloody good Gollum. I can do a really good Smeagol, but I can't. I don't think I can do Yoda.
Go on. Oh, well, try Yoda, and then
It's
you
very
can.
similar, is it?
Star Wars.
That's good.
Oh, that's Yoda's every other line in Star Wars, isn't it? Star Wars. These stars are warring. Go on, give us your Gollum. Give us your Gollum.
Filthy little hobbits is always sneakings. Always sneakings.
That's very good. Very good.
It's impressive that. Maybe we should write some fan fiction where Yoda and Gollum meet.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That's Patreon, that.
Yeah.
That's worth the £5 a month. If anyone
Yoda and Gollum after
I'm
dark.
glad you think so, Graham.
Nobody else does. Graham's number one.
So, I don't. What clues shall I give you on this? Do you want me to give the year? Yeah, we'll just give it away straight away.
Okay.
It's an old film.
Okay.
You know, it was made. It was made in 1939.
Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Didn't take long.
I don't think any other films were made in that year.
I think it was the first film. I think it was the first film that was released in colour as well, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah.
Technicolor.
Yeah,
Technicolor.
They didn't have enough paint to do the beginning and the end, did they?
Is that right?
Yeah, that's a really good one. I didn't expect that, actually, and I'm glad.
Well, again, it's a bit of a sentimental one. It's one of them films that, as a kid, you always remember, coming on. It used to be on at Christmas often, and I used to, at the time, you'd be scared of the witch, or whatever. And I used to love it as a film. I still do. It comes on now. I've still got a sealed up DVD of it there.
Never been watched.
Never been watched. But yeah, I just love it. And just even the effects now, if you look at them, you think, how did they do that in 1939?
Especially the twister.
Yeah.
There's bits, and then you think, well, that's quite impressive to say it's been made 80 years ago.
Yeah,
80 years ago. Yeah.
That was, I think, just a giant piece of cotton, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
You've ruined it. Load of rubbish.
No, but yeah, I think 30 foot tall, something like with like a pivot on both ends, and it was just spun round.
Nice.
And then they dropped, I think, mud dust from the top and bottom, blew it up, and it made a twister effect. So yeah, it was all done like naturally. There's no sort of special effects, if you like. And I always thought, the transition at the start from the black and white to the colour.
Yeah.
I thought that they must have cut out each frame and this, that, and the other, and spliced them together. They didn't. They just painted the inside of the house sepia, everything, all the furniture and everything. So it looked like that was still the old film. So it looked sepia inside, and outside was colour. It wasn't. They just painted it sepia. I always thought they must have cut all the windows out and spliced every frame together, but they didn't for that. It was just painted.
Did not know that.
Yeah,
I think they used to have. I remember when I went to the Epcot Centre when I was about 5 years old, and they had Judy Garland's ruby slippers,
right,
on display. That's the beginning and end of that story, It's not my best anecdote.
Don't open with that one, Ross.
How much do you think it cost to make in 1939?
19th, I don't know, was it under 100,000?
2.7 million.
I haven't taken my guess yet.
Sorry, Si. You have your guess.
2.2 million.
You still got it wrong. 2.7 million.
I didn't want to give it away.
Well, yeah, that's an insane amount of money in 1939.
Yeah, wow. I wonder what that is in today's money.
Yeah, It's a lot, isn't it?
Simon, you have a guess?
I think it's an awful lot.
I thought we were going for a Dr. Evil impression
Yeah.
there. Brazilian dollars.
I reckon about $50 million.
$50 million.
$50 million.
I am getting
so
sick
yeah,
and tired of setting you up for Dr. Evil impressions, and you're not delivering, by the way.
No, it's well. That's that for me. That was. I remember this very record that I have here, that Wizard of Oz. It was on.
yeah.
It was on Christmas Day. I'm guessing about 1980, 81, and it was always on Christmas Day, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They always
yeah.
used to show it in the morning, and we'd opened our presents. Then we sat watching it, and then my dad, when it finished, my dad gave me this extra
Right.
present, and it was this, and he waited until we'd watched it to give it me,
Cool.
and I've still got it. Never played it.
So what would you, I wonder what you would have done if by the end you went, that was one of the shittest films.
Yeah. I hate this film.
He's
Sick of it.
got this.
Every-
This is for your nana.
Every Christmas you make me watch this tripe. It's awful. The songs in it especially, terrible.
I would personally spit on anyone who presented me with any songs from that film I've just watched.
I'm going to find the makers of the songs, track them down, I'm going to spit in each and every one of their faces.
There's only one thing that could ruin this Christmas Day for me.
And congratulations, Dad, you've done it. That's us done. Well done, Graham.
Brilliant. Thank you
I
very much
enjoyed
for
that,
inviting me.
That's
Yeah.
really, really interesting selection of films there. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
It's an
I've
absolute
enjoyed
pleasure
it.
to have you, Graham.
Oh, no worries. It's been good fun.
Right, should do a quick outro, Ross.
Yeah, got you lead. I did the intro.
Oh, all right.
Simon is absolutely fine until he has to do an intro and outro, and he goes to absolute pieces.
Graham's singing behind the magician's cloth now. It's not good. Okay. All right.
Told you, didn't I?
It's smooth.
This is what happens every time.
Okay, thanks everyone. That was a special episode of the Simon and Ross Show with Graham. It was a fun episode, that wasn't it, Ross?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, actually, Graham. Thanks for coming on and sharing. It's quite a good mix of films, which I enjoyed. And I think the more you talk about films from different genres, the more sort of memories it triggers for you, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, Graham's still here, by the way.
Oh, no, I've gone.
His bandwidth's gone. So yeah,
Normally only patrons are allowed to witness the making of the outro.
So on the Patreon thing, we are on Patreon now. So if anyone would like to sign up, there's 3 tiers of it, and you get special things with all sorts. I can't find the website at the moment, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it's good.
Bandwidth issues.
Yeah, need to sort of buy us out once we're done here.
And unlike COVID, it's better to go for the tier 3.
Topical. Oh, we've got Ben Elton in the fucking room. So thank you. Follow us on Twitter at @SR_.
Mate, what is it with you in this? Honestly, between James Caan and the idea of an underscore, you are completely...
I was going to change the Twitter.
S&R_podcast on Twitter.
I'm just going to change it to James Caan. That's all I'm going to do. Just change it to James Caan. That'll do.
If you like and subscribe us wherever you get your podcasts, that means you'll get updates and notifications every Monday morning when they're released. So do that.
And we'll see you next time. And we hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bon voyage.
Bye.